So my next question, and I was consider this like one of my signature questions, right? Because again, everyone's uniquely different in answering this, and again, you're an individual. So if you could spend 24 hours with anyone, that person could be someone that's dead or alive, and you could
Yeah.
be uninterrupted for 24 hours. Who would
Yeah.
it be and why?
Oh, I got one that just, I mean, I don't have to think about it, just pops. And it's I got to tell you, for me, I think it's Walt Disney.
Mm,
Right now, you're a creative guy. I'm a creative guy, right? But Walt, let me tell you, Walt was a visionary and creative like no other. But Walt was also a motherfucker. You want to talk about a guy who was tapped into his warrior
mm,
as well as that creative lover heart side?
mm,
Walt couldn't have built Walt Disney Studios, Walt Disney World, any of the
yeah.
theme, none of it, unless he had that warrior, that beast inside of him. So, I just admire and revere the man. And every time I go to one of the parks, and I live in South Florida, so I have the ability to go to
Okay.
Walt Disney World on a whim.
Mm,
And you walk around, and there's like, if they're doing construction, they have the construction walls up, and they'll have quotes from Walt. And I'll read them, and I'll just feel it. Like sometimes I want to bring tears to my eyes. I get emotional. But the thing for me is like, he talks about why he built Disney World, Disneyland, Disney World, why he got into the parks. And he said his father took him to the World's Fair. And the feeling that he had at the World's Fair, he was like, why can't people experience this anytime they want to?
mm,
And so he had that vision. And the other part that gets me is he was dying of cancer while they were building Walt Disney World here in Orlando. And he knew he wasn't going to live to see it finish, but fuck it. It needed to be built. You
mm.
get it done. Here's my vision. Here's what's going to happen. And after I'm gone, make sure this thing happens. I'm like mind blown by this guy. So for me, it was someone who had such incredible vision. I mean, think about it. What part of our lives, oh, no, I shouldn't say it that way. What person do you know doesn't have at least one part of their life got impacted by something he created? Right.
Well, as of today, I would think that there isn't one because they own everything now.
They own everything now, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
own everything
they
now.
own everything now.
But even back in the day before it became like the juggernaut that it is now, think about like everybody knew Mickey Mouse. In worldwide, everybody
Yeah.
knew Mickey Mouse. Everybody had a story about Mickey Mouse. Everybody had a story about going to Disney when they were a kid.
Mhm.
Everybody had a story about watching a movie and getting something and how, like shit, man, it could have been anything. Lady and the Tramp. I think when I was a little kid, my mom took me to see Lady and the Tramp, and I was like, wait, that was the first time I'd ever seen a relationship between a man and a woman. It was two dogs, but I was
Yep.
like, that scene where they're eating spaghetti and the music, and I'm like, wait a minute, it blew my mind as a little kid. And then watching like Peter Pan and Captain Hook and being afraid and
Mhm.
Walt, I mean, to me was just like such a visionary and a creative, but also such a beast. And he was okay with it.
Mhm.
He was okay with his beast. He knew he had to be in order to make it happen. And that's the side I think people don't really understand.
Mhm.
But for me, yeah, man, if I could sit with Walt and just tap into that and integrate whatever I could from him, yeah, I would give almost anything to be able to do that.